Hello, hello. Yeah, I finished my morning glow. I finished my exercises, and before I take a shower, Abba brought something into today's spiritual side of things. I hope the camera doesn't fall off because I don't know why it's doing that. I guess the screw is not holding up. But do this for you. What does that mean? Standards make you think that you have to do things for other people. Conditioning make you think that you need to sacrifice yourself for another. Indoctrination make you think that you need to do sacrifices in order to live a life that fits the status quo or the conditioning of the world. But when you do things for you, nobody can get in the way. If you do the things that make you happy, no one can get in the way. If you are doing things of the goodness of your heart, regardless of what everybody says, you know the original intention. When you do things in life where you react instead of respond, Abba is teaching you what you need to heal in order to stop allowing the conditioning of your environment to take a toll on your path. That's how it all started. It started with a vision and a mission, and started with inviting people into joining me in this path. And it got into a point where I lost myself trying to help others. Why I'm bringing this up is because if you're here, you're ready. You're ready to hear what he has to say. You're ready to hear why you started something in life that's going to change your life. When I started my spiritual journey, I actually was taking care of my appearance. I was recovering my health. And I was trying to live with this positive mindset of being able to do it all based on a calling. When I started being judged, criticized by not discriminating people that have a different way of seeing life than what I had. For an example, people in the gay community. I have a lot of friends, good friends, that have that type of inclination. And I don't judge them because true love doesn't see colors, doesn't see races, and true love doesn't see that specific lifestyle. True love is based on how big your heart can be to acknowledge that even someone that is said it's not living a righteous life because they're not under the standards of conditioning is still a human being that has a heart, that has feelings, and probably can be even a better parent than what a couple that is formed by a man and a woman could be. So I do not generalize when it comes to unconditional love, because everybody has a right of their own free will to do what they want to do in order to experience the love that they think is the love that's going to fulfill them. But Abba placed another thing in my heart, and is about stopping indoctrination and thinking more about the pureness of what love is. If you see where the church has stigmatized people, you're going to see it in the true meaning behind Valentine's Day. We were killing myths about the king and the queen, and we also killed myths about the temple, right, and the church and all that. But what Abba is bringing us today is to Ezekiel 3 KJV, and the summary of this chapter in Google says, God commissioning Ezekiel as a prophet to the rebellious house of Israel by commanding him to eat a scroll symbolizing internalization of God's word, which tastes sweet as honey. And he warns the people would not listen, yet strengthens Ezekiel to be a fearless watchman. What Abba taught me in this was the blessing in disguise I was expecting. Even when I have spiritual gifts and I can see further out of how things are going to develop, I also can see how my life has changed, how my perception of the world has changed, and how my perception of love has changed. So do it for you. Do it for you, because no one is gonna take a bite of a healthy food. No one is gonna stop you from grabbing a bottle. No one is gonna stop you from going out there and party and then not remember what you're doing. No one is gonna stop you. Backwards. The enablers will literally promote that behavior. Why? Because no one that is not in their sovereignty, understanding the true words of God and Jesus, not as a religion, because I am spiritual, as a practice, will take you out of the conditioning mentality of this world. So when I started reading chapter 3 of Ezekiel, it says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, son of man. That means this talking to the flesh, not the spirit within you. Eat that thou findest. Eat this roll and go speak unto the house of Israel. And as you know, I always look for the meaning of the proper names in Aramaic. And what I do, what does Israel mean in Aramaic? It tells you he strives with God. God strives. You can call it God, you can call it higher power, you can call it consciousness, you can call it whatever you want to call it. As I say, I'm spiritual, not religious, because my spiritual inclination or belief is that unconditional love is a true religion that stopped being practiced under indoctrination. So when he says son of man, he's speaking to your flesh, which is all the conditionings that the world has imposed on you. You're not good enough, you blah, 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 all of that. And it's asking you to savor the true word of the Spirit and to speak from the eyes of Abba. So it says, so I opened my mouth and he caused me to eat that roll. That's exactly what Abba did with me. He didn't indoctrinate me in the word. He showed me how to see the word from the flesh aspect of indoctrination and how to actually fulfill myself with the water of the word through unconditional love, which is not the same. So, and he said unto me, Son of man, again, son of the flesh, cause thy belly to eat and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. When we stop indoctrinating the word and we start feeling it from the bottom of our hearts, the word hits differently. And that allows you to swap, choose with people out there that are still living attached to the flesh. And when that happens, you stop feeling less than, you start feeling bothered by anyone's comments, and you stop feeling attacked, which is beautiful. He's guiding me to another verse here. Yeah. He's guiding me to verse 10. It says, Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, again, son of flesh, all my words that I speak unto thee receive thine heart and hear with thine ears. Whoever has ears, let them hear. Whoever has eyes, let them see. This is based not on the indoctrination of how a specific denomination has told you you have to impose your spiritual beliefs on another. This is more about how to stop indoctrinating yourself so you stop being a judge of another and are more welcoming into the heart, because the mind plays tricks on you, but the heart knows what the heart knows, and the heart doesn't want what the heart wants when the mind controls it. The heart knows what it needs to be joyful, happy. When I started my pharmacy journey, I started it because something in me said, this condition is not going to control your life. And the products that I started using helped me focus. And also having this one-on-ones with Abba, where I said, Abba, I don't want to learn the indoctrinated portions of what the Bible should mean. I want to see it from a pure heart. A heart that is not bothered by projections, a heart that doesn't have to react from the wounds, a heart that is pure, a heart that is loving, a heart that accepts others for who they are, yet knows that respect comes from our actions, not our reactions. So there are so many indoctrinated ways for people to see your path that they can think that because I'm doing pharmacy or I'm doing this spiritual talks in here, I may be hypocritical to my own life. And it's so different, because he's not asking you to be perfect. He's asking you to acknowledge what you brought into the equation. In every single interaction, you are also part of it if you engage. When you understand why you engaged, you heal yourself and you let go of the past. But if you think that going into a circumstance and taking the standpoint of the victim will actually heal something within you, it's not. It's not going to heal nothing within you, because you're not bringing into the awareness the self-introspection or the self-accountability that you need in order to heal that part of you that allowed you to react. And that is beautiful. And then he says on here, and go, get thee to them of the captivity. We are captive in the mind, not the heart. The heart has the pureness of itself, but the mind is the one that actually, when in control, deviates you from living a true life. A life that doesn't need a mask to appear to be somebody else. A life that doesn't need attention to know that you are worthy. A life that doesn't need to persecute or pursue others' attention because you know you're that important and you deserve that respect, not by seeking for it, but by being sovereign. And sovereignty can be explained very simple. If you want a happy, joyful, and calm life, no one can give it to you if you don't give it to yourself. So if you're here, it's because you're ready for this. Take accountability of the times that you placed yourself in spaces where you were not welcomed and you decided to stay because you thought it was the sacrifice you had to do in order to either heal somebody else or help somebody else. See why you left yourself behind. Don't take it at heart to harden your heart. Take it at heart to transform it, to release it, to heal it. Why? If you do not heal that part of your story, then you're carrying a cross that someone else is going to have to bear based on our inability to let it go. And I didn't see it that way until Abba opened my eyes into learning what a projection looks like and where was I projecting? Where was I doubtful? Where was I judging another based on indoctrination? When he brought that into my life, I stopped seeing people's behavioral patterns as a personal attack. And that gives you the ability to stand firm and knowing who you are. But it also gives you the moment that you need to take accountability of where you left yourself behind for another. So this is not pointing the finger at anyone. Introspection, looking within, is not going to allow you to heal when you blame another or when you blame yourself. It's when you see the projection of another, the counsel of another, you take it to heart, not to mind. Take it to heart and say, I am beautiful just the way I am. And if I want to eat better and healthier, it's because I want to nourish my body, because my body is my temple. My temple is not a building where I go to congregate. That is a community. And if my community is telling me that I need to hate on somebody else or discriminate on somebody else because they don't have my beliefs, they're indoctrinating you on hate, not love. And that's why I sometimes felt very sad about going into different temples and denominations and seeing how the judgment was everywhere. If they don't live their life like this, they cannot be part of this. If they don't do this, they cannot be this. If they don't, that's hate. That's not love. But I've also seen the other side of the story where I have a friend and his wife, there are pastors. They sell lunches for others to buy them so they can feed the needy. And they're not pocketing that money. They're using it for service. And that's why they're always blessed with more and more and more, because they do it out of the goodwill of heart, not to gain popularity, not to gain accolades, not to gain the attention of anyone. And when I realized where I was leaving myself behind, and even my heart knew the right path, then I said, no one is going to take that accountability for me. With this, I'm not saying that I have not done things that were not righteous. I'm not here to wash my hands. I'm here to acknowledge that I saw where I allowed indoctrination, spiritual attacks to get me out of my sovereignty, my beliefs, my true heart. And that's where you can actually make the change. Love you all. Take care. See you in the next one. Dame un segundo, hermosa.